I don't stay neutral. I'm obviously things I stand for, but it bothers me with how you can't even have a conversation with someone because we just rather be right than get it right. And we don't even want to seek to understand. We're just like, oh, no, I saw it. That's the truth. That's what it is. And I think it becomes a huge issue. And I think eventually, like, someone has to step up and really take control, right? We need leadership. Leadership is at a premium right now. And like, I think the biggest thing is just like in any business.
Yeah, I mean, your philosophy is, build the people and the people build the business. And obviously that's a great place to be, especially you want to build a successful brand, successful company. You're going to have to take care of your people. You're going to have to be a good leader. And I think you got it right, man. I mean, and I'm a few years older than you, but I came to that realization too. A lot of your story, by the way, resonates with me. I think me and you are going to become really good friends, by the way, because a lot of it, I was a bad kid growing up, got in a lot of trouble. Maybe not sleeping on benches. I think yours was a little rougher than mine, but certainly I was a little hoodlum kid that got in a lot of trouble, hated school, I went into sales at 21 and I just wanted to compete and win trophies and just, do great things. And it changed my life. But the point I'm trying to make is that over the last couple of years, you came to a realization that a lot of the things that we thought as young people were so important, as you get older, they're not that important. I mean, I love nice cars. I have a nice car. I love nice homes. I have nice homes. I love nice things. But the truth is, I'm about to get on a plane and go to Bali, Philippines, and Australia just because I want to. And so, and those are, to me, that's the beauty of freedom and choices and options. And of course, when you build a company and you build, the wealth and you know what to do with it and you invest it properly and you make good financial choices, what happens is the money starts to work for you. So you don't have to work anymore. The money actually starts working for you. And then you get to do the things that you want to do, make memories, travel, take care of your kids, take care of your family, do fun things with your teams. And I think you get it, man. I mean, 41 years old, that's awesome that you're getting it and you got it and you become really, really successful in the process. Now, you're building a major brand and you're building a major company and you've done just incredible things so far. I mean, what's it like now, though, in this political climate? Like, what do you think about kind of what's happening? The country is divided, right? Basically 50-50 right now. And you got open borders, you got inflation going through the roof, you got, all kinds of, crap happening in the streets that maybe didn't happen, 4, 5, 10 years ago. I mean, what do you think about what's happening in America right now?
Man, I think it's crazy, right? I think a lot of things are crazy. And it was funny. I told somebody the other day, was like, well, I bet you're this, right? And I'm like, hey man, I try not to base people off of, like, I want to vote on like policies. I don't want to vote because you're a party, right? Like, to me, it's like, hey man, I make, good money and, I do like nice things, right? And I think we all have our, like, I think especially high competitive salespeople, like mine is shoes. Like, I love shoes. I have like 300 plus shoes. If you're out in Cali, I just did a custom pair from the surgeon. He's kind of the guy when you get custom shoes. And so I love custom shoes, right? Now it's not a $500,000 car, but it's still, I think we all have our stuff. And like, I spoil my wife, drives like the nice car because of the kids and just everything like that. But I was talking to someone the other day and they were like, well, I bet you lean this way because of this. I was like, nah, man, you'd be surprised. And I said, look, man, like, yeah, I want to pay less taxes. Like, of course, I own a business and I contribute. Like, we do a lot. I have 100 plus employees and, I contribute a lot to the economy, and I would like not for 40% of my stuff to go to taxes. And yes, I want to help people in need for a certain time, right? But also I lean far left on, I don't want people to be treated differently because of the color of their skin. the religion. I don't agree with that. I want people to be treated fairly. My wife's family immigrated here from another country, the right way. I want people to come in for the American dream. Like, I want people to be able to express themselves. And I think what's so lost is we get so offended if somebody doesn't agree with us, and we don't want to have open discussions. And I think for me, it's like, I don't want to fall in either way. I want to talk and seek to understand, because maybe if I can understand where you're coming from, right? And I have a rule, and my rule is, look, man, is don't fuck with kids. And I think that's the boundaries, because they're the future. And as a father, it's like, look, man, we can agree to disagree and have a lot of things, but like, you don't mess with another man's family, right? Or woman. You don't mess with, their significant other. You don't mess with their kids. And like, that's my one rule I'll stand up for. And like, look, you might have different beliefs than me, and I'm okay with that. But we need to be able to talk about them on what's the greater good of everybody. And I do. And so that's why I try to focus on people. And I know it's huge, but it was crazy, man. Like, I recently did a podcast with Patrick Bet-David. So I had Patrick on my podcast, and this is right when he hired Chris, the guy from CNN. Now I'm going blank. Chris Coma, yes. And the hate comments, it was insane. It was like, oh, I can't believe like you would have this guy on your podcast because he just hired Chris. He's a fraud. Oh, I used to like you, but I hate you now because you did this. You hired this guy. And it's like, the one thing I know about Patrick was, whether he agrees or disagrees with you, he wants to hear from your point of view, and he wants a discussion. I'm the same way. I don't agree with anything anyone does, right? Like, I mean, everything anyone does, we have disagreements, but it was just crazy for me to be like, wow, man, like, you love this guy because he hired someone. You're just, it was wild, but that's the world we live in. And I'm like, what's the solve for it, right? And then I do partly think that social media doesn't change you, it exposes you. And so right now, everything's so highlighted, man. I remember when we were hoodlums, right? Like, as you said, we were out running the streets. Like, hey, bro, if we would have had social media when I was coming up, like, it'd been a different world, right? I think part of it is, too, as humans, we gravitate towards the negative. And so it's like, if I'm on my way to work and there's no traffic and everything's good, I don't call my wife and go, babe, guess what? I made it to work on time. No traffic. There was no wrecks. The sky was blue. Feels good. But if people can't drive, there's a wreck, I'm late, there's so much traffic, I call, babe, I couldn't believe the traffic. So I think we naturally gravitate towards that. And then with social media and the news right now, they've latched a hold of that. So it's like, let's just show all the negative. I do feel like there's a lot of good out there, and I think people are doing a lot of good. We're just not highlighting it. And I think we need to double down on highlighting the good people do. And because the people I'm around, I'm like, man, I don't see it. It's just like when I go to California, people are like, why do you go to California? Their politics. I'm like, hey, man, I don't go for the politics. I go to visit the people. I go to visit the places, the history. Like, it's great. And every time I'm in Cali, I don't see all that. And I go out there a lot, right? It's just, but we focus on that. If you watch the news, you would think Cali is just, hey, man, you can't walk down the street without people picketing their political beliefs, right? And it's like, it's not that, man. And the people that I talk to, it's a vibe. It's great, good people. But I think we get it so caught up on social media. We get it so caught up on the news, and then we don't want to talk to the opposing party, if you will. And so it's just, then it becomes, that's all we see, because that's all you're looking for. That's all you're listening to. And so for me, I don't stay neutral. I'm obviously things I stand for, but it bothers me with how you can't even have a conversation with someone because we just rather be right and get it right. And we don't even want to seek to understand. We're just like, oh, no, I saw it. That's the truth. That's what it is. And I think it becomes a huge issue. And I think eventually, like, someone has to step up and really take control, right? We need leadership. Leadership is at a premium right now. And like, I think the biggest thing is just like in any business, we're just lacking leadership right now from a lot of places. It's not just a particular party. We need leadership in a big way to take control. And look, it's the American dream, man. That's why people come to this country to want to live it. And yet, we have people hating it. Do we have issues in America? Absolutely. But bashing is not going to fix it, right? We got to figure out, work together to fix it. So it is, well, it's crazy.
I think you're right on, man. I mean, there's no question the country right now, more than ever. And the reason why I'm passionate about talking about politics and understanding politics and, you know, just trying to stay on top of these type of things is because these are affecting us big time. I mean, again, you know, there's a lot. I mean, America, I flew my flag, man, for 15 years, never took it down. I mean, I'm that most patriotic guy you ever meet in your life. Like, I love America, man. I mean, I don't just like America. I love America. If you like this video and you want to watch another one, click right here.